and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:36. It's O'Connor and Company here on this historic Monday morning in the nation's capital as Republicans gather in Milwaukee for their convention. We are all still shaken, but not knocked down by what happened Saturday in Pennsylvania as President Donald Trump experienced an assassination attempt that came half an inch from ending his life in horrific fashion. It's Larry O'Connor alongside Julie Gunlock. And Julie, we're now joined by Republican Congressman Michael Waltz of Florida, who I'm guessing is in Milwaukee as well. Are you in Milwaukee, Congressman?
I am. I will introduce the party platform this morning. I'm co-chair of the platform with Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. So we'll get that in and adopted today, and we're off and running.
That's a dynamic duo right there, Waltz and Blackburn. We'll look forward to seeing that. Congressman, so much to discuss. You've already come out and called for a full investigation into the Secret Service and their planning and execution of this of the security detail for this rally. And we're now told, this is just breaking within the last 10 minutes. You may not have heard this yet, sir. But the Secret Service has told CNN that they did not personally sweep the building where the gunman who attempted to assassinate Donald Trump was. It seems like there were so many things that were overseen. What do you think is at the root of this, sir?
What I think is at the root of it, and what agents and insiders are telling me, is that they didn't have a big enough detail. They didn't have enough supplemental resources for these rallies. And what I mean by supplemental resources is when the Secret Service does in advance of a site, they say, okay, I've got this structure here, this roadway here, and you have the core detail around the president, but then they ask for additional agents that would say come in from local field offices like Pittsburgh or Philadelphia in this case. Headquarters reviews that, and that repeatedly, because of budgetary concerns on those extra agents' overtime, their travel, what have you, that they were denied, and the core Trump detail was told to rely on local law enforcement.
Wow.
So this is just coming out now that Secret Service didn't sweep it. They relied on local law enforcement. And we love our local cops, but they're not trained to the level of the Secret Service.
Sir, what you just said sadly brings on so many other questions. First of all, I know that you have a good relationship with the Trump campaign and the Trump Inner Circle. I'm not nearly as close to them as you are, and I have been hearing that the Trump people have been complaining about the size of their Secret Service detail for over a year now, considering the threats against the former president. And you said it was for budgetary concerns. You know better than anyone that we have the biggest budget in the history of our country.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's not even just Trump. You have a number of his former officials that have ongoing active threats from the Iranians that are infiltrating people in the United States and trying to kill them. And those details have been getting cut back by the Biden administration. So it's even a broader issue than just President Trump. But going back to that, I think the core issue with President Trump is he's not a normal former president, obviously. And so what I'm told is that they have the standard package for Carter and a standard package for W and for Clinton, and they just applied the standard package and said, this is what you get.
Yeah, well, I mean, Julie's going to jump in here, but Congressman, here's the thing. You don't hear a drumbeat minute by minute in this country of people saying that George Bush or Jimmy Carter or Bill Clinton are Hitler, and if they're elected, it's the end of our country. That is absolutely
Or that you have foreign threats. Or that you have foreign threats like the Iranians openly talking about trying to assassinate him, or they don't have three major residences and they're not doing a rally every week. Right. So you needed a lot more than what they had.
Well, what is also very concerning, and I'm sure you will also look into this, is there are reports that some of the resources were transferred from Trump to Jill Biden. This is unbelievable. The First Lady is obviously does not face the same threats. I'm not saying that she faces no threats, but the idea that resources would be transferred from Donald Trump, who, as Larry just laid out and you also have laid out, is is constantly called the next Hitler, and Jill Biden is absolutely absurd. Is that something that you're going to look into?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're, as of now, scheduled to have Director Cheadle before the Oversight Committee led by Jamie Comer on Monday. So that's the current plan. We'll see if they stick to it.
Monday of next week.
We put a document Monday of next week,
Okay.
a week from today, and document preservation notice is out. I know that the DHS committee, led by Mark Green of Tennessee, is also going to look at the DHS portion of it.
Congressman Michael Waltz is
we'll
our guest
see.
from Florida. He's live in Milwaukee for the convention. Also, final minute, the president last night said, don't jump to conclusions. Let the investigators do their work. Let the FBI do their work. The FBI reached its conclusion about the attempted assassination of your colleagues, Steve Scalise and other congressmen on that baseball field in Alexandria. When the FBI was done, they claimed that shooting was suicide by cop and that there were no further political motivations. Can you tell us, Congressman, from your perspective, why should the American people trust the investigation that the FBI is conducting?
Look, we need to. They're the investigating entity. We have to let them go through it. But I could tell you, from an oversight perspective, Congress is going to be watching it like a hawk. And in that case, we called them to the carpet, and they ended up changing that ridiculous notion that it was suicide by cop. The guy had a list in his pocket of Republican members. That was an assassination hit list. And had Steve Scalise, because leadership's the only ones in Congress with a protective detail, had he happened to have not been there that morning, I think you would have had 19 to 20 dead members of Congress. There's little doubt in my mind. That was a full-on hit, and by a Bernie Sanders supporter. So I take your point, but I can't sit there beside the FBI as they're doing the investigation, but I assure you we are going to be combing through it thoroughly.
Congressman Michael Waltz, a big week in American history, and you're right in the thick of it in Milwaukee. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Well, fortunately, not as big as it. We were a millimeter away from it being just monumentally destructive and chaotic. I'm praising God and those close-in agents that body bunkered the president.
Amen. Thank you, Congressman. It is 8:40.